There's something that separates beginner riders who stay safe and those who end up on a flatbed truck or worse. It's not skill, not speed, not even gear. It's preparation. So today I'm walking you through the beginner motorcycle checklist, the stuff you should do before every single ride. I'm Matthew from Autozium, and this list will take you 3 minutes max, but it might save your engine, your ride, or even your skin. 1. Tire pressure check. Start here, every time. Your tires are your only contact with the ground, and pressure changes constantly with weather, storage, and riding. It doesn't matter if your tires looked fine yesterday, check them before today's ride. A few PSI off can completely change how the bike handles. Too low? You're asking for sluggish cornering, overheating, premature wear, and worst of all, potential blowouts. The sidewalls flex more, the tire temperature rises faster, and performance goes out the window. Too high? Now you're dealing with a harsh ride, reduced grip, and a tire that won't flex the way it's designed to, especially in corners or on imperfect roads. The fix is easy. Keep a good quality tire pressure gauge in your garage or tank bag. Digital or analog, it doesn't matter. What matters is using it. Check pressure cold before the ride and set it to the spec listed in your bike's manual or swing arm sticker. And don't forget, front and rear tires often have different pressure recommendations. One number doesn't fit all. Do this check before every ride, especially if you haven't ridden in a few days. It takes 30 seconds, but it's the foundation of traction, safety, and rider confidence. If your tires are off, the whole ride is off. 2. Chain tension and lube. Look down. That chain is the lifeline between your throttle hand and the rear wheel, and it needs attention. A too tight chain adds stress to your engine's output shaft, wears down your sprockets, and reduces suspension travel. Too loose? You get power lash, jerky acceleration, and a higher risk of the chain jumping the sprocket, which can be catastrophic. Here's how to check. Put the bike in neutral. Measure the vertical movement at the midpoint of the chain, usually midway between the front and rear sprockets. Most bikes want about 1 to 1.5 inches of slack, but check your manual for the exact spec. If it's off, adjust it. It's not complicated, and it keeps your ride smooth and safe. Now lube it, especially if you rode in the rain, hit gravel roads, or parked for more than a week. Use a quality motorcycle chain lube, not WD-40, and hit the inside of the chain while spinning the rear wheel slowly. Look for kinks, rust, or tight spots. These are signs the chain may need deeper cleaning or even replacement. Chain care isn't glamorous. It's not the sexy part of motorcycling, but it's what keeps your ride alive and keeps you from walking home. 3. Brake function test. Brakes aren't just a safety feature, they're your last line of defense. If something goes wrong, if someone pulls out in front of you, if you hit a patch of gravel or traffic suddenly slows down, you need your brakes to respond instantly. Not almost. Not pretty well. Instantly. Before every ride, give your brakes a real check. Start by rolling the bike forward a few feet and gently tapping the front brake. It should feel firm, not squishy. The front lever should offer resistance and stop the bike with confidence. Then do the same for the rear brake. Light press, steady feel. If it sinks too far or feels vague, you've got air in the lines, worn pads, or worse. Now, take a peek at the brake pads. You don't have to be a mechanic to do this. Just look between the caliper and rotor. See how much pad is left. If you're seeing more metal than pad, or they're worn unevenly, it's time to swap them. And don't ignore brake fluid. Over time, it absorbs moisture, loses effectiveness, and turns brown. On most bikes, you can eyeball the reservoir and see the fluid level and color. Clear to light amber is good. Dark, time for a flush. Remember, your brakes are your best friends in emergencies. Treat them like it. Test them before you need them. Because when the moment comes, you want stopping power, not surprises. 4. Lights and indicators. Lights aren't just for night riding. They're for being seen, especially during the day when drivers are half distracted, sipping coffee, texting, or fumbling with their GPS. That's why your lights deserve a spot on the pre-ride checklist. Walk around your bike. Check your headlight, both high and low beams. Tap the brakes and make sure the brake flares up bright and fast. Hit the turn signals and confirm they're blinking cleanly on both sides. And don't just rely on the dash indicators. Sometimes your cluster says the signal's working, but the bulb is out or the wiring is loose. Visual confirmation is key. If you ride with hazards, test those too. A flashing rear end can mean the difference between a safe slowdown and getting rear ended. Even your license plate light matters. In many states, it's required by law. And being pulled over for something that's silly? Not worth it. If you notice dim bulbs, condensation in a housing, or a flickering signal, fix it. Bulbs are cheap. Wiring issues can be sorted before they become electrical headaches. Your lights are how the world sees you. Make sure they're saying, "I'm here." Pay attention, because being visible isn't optional, it's survival. 5. Oil level and leaks. This one's mission critical. Your motorcycle engine is a high revving, high compression machine, and oil is its lifeblood. Without enough of it, or with the wrong quality, you're basically asking for internal damage. Check your oil before the ride, not after. Either use the sight glass, most modern bikes have one, or the dipstick, depending on your bike. Make sure the bike is upright on level ground and let it settle for a moment before reading. Too low? That's an emergency. Add the recommended oil before starting the engine. Running low can lead to increased friction, overheating, and even seizure. Too full? That's a problem too. Overfilling can cause foaming, crankcase pressure issues, and blown seals. And then there's the ground check. Take a peek under the bike. A small dark puddle, wet residue on the crankcase, or fresh streaks on the fairings. Don't ignore it. That's your bike trying to talk to you. Also, give the oil color a glance. Fresh oil is golden or amber. Dark brown or black means it's time for a change. Milky? That could mean water contamination. Stop and investigate. This step takes less than a minute and could save you thousands in repairs. It's not about being obsessive. It's about being smart and respecting the machine that's carrying you through space at 60 plus miles per hour. Controls and cables. This is your hands-on interface with the motorcycle. If your clutch, throttle, or kill switch feels weird, sticks, or resists, you'll notice it at the worst possible time. Start with the clutch. Pull it in. Feel for smooth resistance. It should return cleanly when you let go. If it's sticky or too loose, your friction zone may be off or your cable may be fraying. Then the throttle. Roll it open and closed a few times. It should snap back smoothly without lag. If it hangs open, that's dangerous. Clean the housing, check the cables, and lube them if necessary. Test the front brake lever for smooth, firm pressure. No mush, no dragging, and make sure it returns properly when released. Hit the kill switch and ignition button quickly just to confirm it works. That switch might save your life in an emergency. Don't skip it. For older bikes especially, check all visible cables. Are there signs of fraying near the lever? Any cracks in the housing? Does the clutch or throttle feel like it's catching or binding? It's easy to ignore cables because they hide in plain sight. But when they go, there's no warning. 1 second you're riding fine. The next, your clutch cable snaps in traffic. So check them. Feel them. Learn what normal feels like, and you'll know the second something changes. 7. Fuel check. Yeah, it sounds basic, but you'd be shocked how many riders end up pushing their bikes because they forgot to glance at the gas level. Start with the obvious. What does your fuel gauge say? If your bike doesn't have one, which many older or smaller bikes don't, open the tank and give it a look. Use your eyes, use your ears, even give it a little shake if you need to. Some riders even use the old flashlight trick to see inside better. And if you're on a carbureted bike with a petcock, make sure it's set correctly. More than one rider has fired up, rolled out of the driveway, and sputtered to a stop because they forgot it was still in the off position, or that they were already on reserve. Now here's the part most riders skip. Smell your fuel. Seriously. Old gas, especially ethanol blends, starts to go bad after just a few weeks. If it smells like varnish or chemicals instead of clean gasoline, you might be dealing with degraded fuel. That gunk can clog injectors or carburetor jets, making your bike run like garbage, or not at all. If you're storing your bike for more than a few weeks, Use a fuel stabilizer. It keeps the gas fresh and prevents rust inside the tank and fuel lines. And if it's been sitting for a while already, consider draining it or running it through completely before topping off with fresh stuff. Fuel is your lifeline. Don't assume it's fine. Check it, smell it, and trust your gut if something seems off. Because running out of gas or running on garbage fuel isn't just inconvenient, it's embarrassing and it's totally avoidable. 8. Kickstand and safety interlocks. The kickstand doesn't get a lot of love. It's just there until the moment it isn't. And when it fails, it's either an engine that won't start or a bike that topples over in front of a crowd. So give it a look. Make sure it swings out and retracts cleanly. It shouldn't feel loose, and it definitely shouldn't hang low or bounce while you ride. That's a signal it's worn or bent, and that means it might not hold the weight of the bike safely. Next, test the safety interlock. Most modern bikes have a built-in system. If the kickstand is down, the engine won't run when you pop into gear. That's a good thing. It keeps you from launching off with it down, which can cause you to crash in a heartbeat. But if that sensor fails, you'll either stall every time you go to move, or worse, the system might not catch it at all. So here's how you test it. Start the bike with the stand down. Pull in the clutch. Shift into first. If the bike cuts off, that's good. If it doesn't, you might have a faulty switch. Also, check for crud buildup near the pivot point. Kickstand springs and switches can get sticky if they're packed with road grime or dried chain lube. This takes 15 seconds, but it keeps your engine sensors happy and your bike upright. Gear fit and visibility. Now, before you even twist the key or press the starter, take one last look at yourself. Your gear isn't just there for crash protection. It's your mobile cockpit. If something's off, you'll feel it the entire ride. A twisted glove, a loose boot strap, a foggy visor, they all add up to distractions that eat away at your focus. Start with your helmet. Strap snugly fastened, visor clean and clear. If you ride in the early morning or cooler temps, check for fog. A pin lock insert or anti-fog spray goes a long way, and you'll thank yourself when your breath doesn't blind you at the next stoplight. Gloves? Make sure you have full motion and grip. Jacket zipped and secure, armor in place. If it's cold, check for gaps between sleeves and gloves. Wind finds every weak spot. And if your gear hasn't been worn in a while, say a jacket that's been in the closet all winter, check the zippers, Velcro, and armor placement. You don't want to discover a broken zipper halfway through a highway run. Now, here's the kicker: visibility. You don't have to dress like a traffic cone, but brighter colors or reflective elements seriously increase your chances of being seen, especially at dawn, dusk, or in heavy traffic. A high-vis vest, reflective piping, or even a small strip of retroreflective tape on your helmet can be the difference between blending in and being noticed. You don't need to look flashy. You need to look alive. Check your gear. Own your presence. Make sure you're riding into the world like you mean it, and that the world can see you coming. 10. Mental state check. Last item, but maybe the most important one of all. Before you ride, check in with the one system no bike can run without: your brain. Are you clear, calm, focused, or are you rushing, distracted, stressed, or angry? Motorcycles amplify everything. If your head's not in the game, your hands won't be either. Your throttle will be twitchy, your decisions will be late, and your ability to react will shrink. Think about it. Ever been cut off while already feeling irritated? You're more likely to respond aggressively. That's not just dangerous, that's deadly. So pause. Take 10 seconds. Close your eyes if you have to. Breathe in. Breathe out. Ask yourself, am I ready to ride, or am I riding just to escape something? If the answer feels shaky, delay the ride. No shame in it. A clear head is worth more than a perfect weather forecast. Riding should sharpen your focus, not scatter it. So leave the stress at the garage door. Put the phone away. Lock in. Because every smart rider knows, if your mind's not on the road, you don't belong on the bike. That's it. Simple, quick, and the kind of habit that separates the riders who stay in the saddle from the ones who learn things the hard way. Make this checklist a ritual, because smart riders don't just ride well, they prepare well. I'm Matthew from Autozium. Ride safe, ride ready, and I'll see you out there.